Hello, everybody. Welcome here. Another great episode. We've got a super special interview today with Maddie Thompson. She is the founder of Mad Social Agency. She helps people essentially with their social media, putting all the posts out and whatever else. Welcome here, Maddie. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm excited to learn a bit about what you do. So can you tell us kind of your business, what your business does, and kind of how you got going in the social media marketing world?
Yeah, sure. So short form of the story is I used to have a clothing brand back in the day. And that's when I really learned marketing skills, specifically social media skills, because our budget was zero for that business. It was actually a school project. And social media for the most part is free. You can just start an account on your phone and it's good to go. So that's how I learned the skill set of social media marketing. Then kind of fast forward, I was in architecture school, so didn't focus too much on that. But I started doing social media for my part-time job just for fun. And that was going really good. It kind of got recognized within the community, and I decided to start a business out of it. So I started my social media account. I called it Spark Media back in the day. And I sold social media management for $80 a month. I put out a crazy deal.
Wow.
Yeah, I got my first ever client. I got 4 DQ franchises that week.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
it was pretty insane. And so here I am now today. I have 6 part-time employees. It'll be 2 years on October 6th. And it's everything I could ever dream of, essentially. We run social media pages for businesses, personal brands. We do branding, logo, content shoots. I'm trying to expand my services, but yeah.
Wonderful. That's phenomenal. 2 years to kind of, starting something on the side to having a business with, employees and growing the way that you have. That's really amazing. So branding is like essential to be profitable, kind of differentiate yourself and get you noticed. What are some tips you suggest for contractors that they could do to like improve their branding? I know most just, they'll have a website, maybe a logo, and that's about where it stops. So what are some ideas that you have about branding?
So some people think that branding is just a logo, and it is absolutely not. And branding's not even just colors and fonts. Branding is the overall feel of your company. So like my branding for Mad Social is essentially me. I personal brand it very heavily. But for contractors, what they should do is go onto Canva. Canva has fantastic templates for this. Set up their kind of brand templates, and they will have, where you can choose your fonts and your colors and everything, and kind of fill all of that out for how you want it, and use those guidelines in your social media, your website, your postcards, your ads. Everything that you do has to go along those lines. I see a lot of contractors who aren't consistent with their colors and the overall look and the feel and the messaging. So just make sure you have that down to a T. Like, what are common words that you use? How do you speak to your audience? Are you like, are your captions witty? Are they super informational? Are they very serious? You got to define all of that, and that's brand.
Yeah, definitely, kind of figure out your audience and what your business stands for and speak to that. One thing that I like to do is when I am talking with a client to like listen to kind of the words they use or like how they think, and then try to use that as well in your branding and marketing, so you can speak directly to them and kind of get on the same page, if you will, for sure. But Canva is awesome. I've used it before. It's like really user friendly for people that aren't super tech or graphically inclined, with moving pictures and stuff around. It's a really great resource, and we'll have some links in the description here to get in touch with Maddie, and we can draw one in for Canva too if people want to go check it out. So great call there.
You can do it on Canva, or you can outsource and hire someone to do it for you.
There you go. You can just call Maddie and she'll take care of care of your branding and or well, the social media side of it anyways, but I'm sure you have like so many other skills as as far as, on the marketing side of things. So your company, Mad Social, specializes in social media marketing. Which things are you thinking about when you're creating a social media strategy? Like as a contractor, usually we're just posting on our personal profile or maybe in groups. What kind of things you've got a new client are you thinking about or kind of setting up for, for contractors or the businesses that you work with?
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing you want to do is you want to come up with content pillars. So content pillars is essentially the types of content that you're going to post. And you want three main ones. So I'll give you an example. For my business, I post tips about social media, personal posts about me, about my entrepreneur journey. And then I also post kind of funny reels and funny informational, just a little bit different. Keep it super trendy. So contractors, you could have one content pillar where it's showing your projects, one content pillar where it's giving those tips and tricks, one content pillar where you show behind the scenes, things like that. And once you have those content pillars, building the rest out is pretty easy once you know what you want to post. Then you base it all around shareable content. And I've always preached shareable content because everybody focuses way too heavily on the algorithm and what the algorithm says. And although to an extent that's important, of course you want to post reels and push it that way. Shareable content will always win no matter what the algorithm, because if people see your post and are sharing it to their friends, sharing it to their family, it's gonna get out there no matter what. So before you post and when creating a post, think to yourself, would I share this with a friend? Would I share this with a family member? And if the answer is no, well, maybe how can you change it so that you would, right? So you gotta always think of that. And you need to think about who is consuming your social media content and why are they consuming it? Like, what does your audience actually want to see? Rather than just posting, what do they actually want to see? And there's easy ways to find this. You can do polls in Instagram stories and ask your audience what type of content they want. And it's that easy and nobody thinks about it. You can actually just ask your audience and post that exact content. You can do the little stickers, ask me a question, take questions people put in there and make videos out of it, right? How do I prepare my home for winter? Whatever, just like any. And the other thing that's super important for social media strategy for my clients are hashtags and having a strong hashtag strategy. So what I do is I create what's called hashtag banks. So hashtag banks are kind of like a set of hashtags, different sets. So I have I call them main for every account. Then I'll have if it's decks, for example, or maybe interiors, something like maybe a lot of contractors are kind of business owners, entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship, whatever. It can be anything. And you just switch up your hashtags so you reach different people for every post. If you're doing the same hashtags, you'll reach the exact same people. And so I noticed so many people doing this. Those are my three main tips for coming up with a strategy and then just mapping it all out.
Yeah, lots to unpack there. It's really a lot of very insightful, ideas and advice there. The pillars is great because often it keeps things fresh if you have kind of your different content, and also it enables you to not run out of stuff to post, right? Like you've got different things and you're not kind of struggling to find new things or just doing pictures of the work all the time or whatever. So yeah, really awesome. And then asking your audience, huge, right? For whether that's online, just doing a poll, or even asking clients, if they say they saw you through social media, ask them oh, what did you see, or what do you like to watch or whatever on social media. Just get feedback from clients, and then they pretty much tell you what they like and what they're into. So that's awesome advice. So good social media can be time consuming. I mean, everybody's on their phones these days, we're plugged away. Besides hiring someone like yourself, what are some ways that people could maybe post more effectively or just be more efficient with their social media advertising?
For sure. So there's two main things that can help you with time consuming social media. And one of them is batching content. And one of them is planning out the content ahead of time. So batching content essentially is where you take one of those content pillars, or you take kind of a general idea, or you make a series, and you take a day and you make a ton of content for that one pillar. And you just put it in an Apple Photos album, and it's there. The content is done, and then you can just use it. So you just batch up a bunch of content, and that way you're not doing it on demand, which won't do good, and your feed won't look good. And you need to think about this. That's why why content batching is amazing. Content batching is also great for planning. So to plan out your social media, I recommend doing it a month in advance. Take a couple hours every month, take a day, whatever you need, and plan out your whole month of social media. You can do this week by week as well. Just on Sundays, take like, an hour or whatever and plan it out. And the way that I do this is on a Google Sheets document. So I essentially replicate what a calendar looks like in Google Sheets, and I just paste in the image and then the caption, and then I go day by day. So it tells me exactly what to post. So I put all of my content in there, all of my captions, the hashtags, everything. And so if it's, October 7th, I'll go in the calendar, look at what needs to be posted, post it, done. Takes me 1 second, and I know that everything will look great. I know that everything was double checked, and it's a lot less time consuming that way. Even though it takes, a couple hours to figure it out, but it's definitely worth it in the end.
Yeah, great idea for sure. And it may seem like, oh, I got to sit down for a few hours, but when you actually look at the time that you're probably spending, just posting randomly or trying to think about content and stuff, when you are actually putting it out, you're gonna have a huge time savings. And it's also like gets it kind of out of your brain space, right? Like if you can have everything set up for a month, you don't, it's like it's taken care of, right? Like you just got to go in, post and whatever.
One other thing that they can do is auto posting.
Yeah.
So they can set that up in like Meta Business Suite has a really nice where you can essentially upload your images, write your captions, and it'll auto post for you for the whole month.
Yeah.
I don't auto post for clients just because engagement wise, it's absolutely terrible. But if you just care about getting your content out there, then it works. So that's another option if you really want to be hands off and it not take up any time.
Yeah. For some of the basic kind of posting, I've used those as well. And it's great because set and forget it sort of thing. But yeah, there's some limitations as far as like if you're sharing videos or like which like you have to kind of modify for different platforms or whatever. But yeah, another great point there. You mentioned like a Google Doc. You can also keep your ideas in there. So I mean, like if you're taking pictures or whatever, it's like, oh, that'd be great social media. Just dump it in a Google folder or something. Or if you think of like a great post that you want to write, spark an idea, just have like a certain Google Doc and just put all your ideas in there. And then when it comes time to create your content, you can just, there you go. You got everything there. Just got to sit down and get it done. Right. So awesome. So now my question, what do you see like as a professional contractors are just doing horribly or business owners? Like what are some like pet peeves, if you will, of like when you see people posting or using social media, and how would you change that?
So I have a couple massive pet peeves. One of them is when their feed is not branded and just doesn't look good. And the reason why this is so important is it's been statistically proven that people, when they click on your profile, they only look at it for 3 seconds before they decide to follow you or not. And in those 3 seconds, do you think they're clicking through your posts, looking for value, reading captions? No, it's purely visual. It's purely based off of your bio. So you got to optimize your bio, say exactly what you do, where you do it, and even how. And you just have to have your feed to look aesthetically pleasing, not too like overboard of just, you got to space it out between graphics, images, and videos, essentially. Make sure you mix it up. The other thing is that people sell way too much. So why do people go on social media? Like, why do you go on social media?
Distraction, more or less. See what my friends are doing or whatever. I mean, I use it for business as well. So I'm just checking out like groups and what other, business owners
to be entertained.
But essentially, yeah, as a distraction and entertainment, little break to the day or whatever.
People go on social media to be entertained. So why would you sell to them? Why not entertain them? And then they'll follow you. And then when they're ready for your services, then they'll reach out to you. Why would you hard sell to somebody on social media who doesn't want to be sold because they're looking at social media? They just want to be entertained. And if you're just hardcore trying to sell to them, they're most likely not going to follow you because you're not adding any value to their life.
Yeah.
So I would much rather watch a video about a product that's like super funny and relatable and like a viral video rather than somebody talking about a product trying to sell it to me. That does not seem appealing to me at all. And I can guarantee that most people watching this agree with me. So that's the number one thing. Don't sell. If you want to sell in your Instagram stories, but don't sell well in your main content, entertain, educate, and be relatable.
Yeah. Okay. Would you consider that kind of like nurturing a bit of the audience? And like if they want to know more, have a link in your bio, or how would you, like, obviously as business owners, we do need to be able to have exposure and have clients reach out to us. How, as far as like a process goes of putting out content, like something entertaining, funny, something they're going to enjoy, how do we then kind of tie that into them being able to check out our business and possibly connect with us?
So that's all through then CTAs. So CTAs, if it's at the end of the video or in the caption. So DM me if you have any questions, click the link into my bio for more information, drop an emoji if you like this video, share this video with friends, little call to actions like that. If you're looking for a new deck this coming summer, send me a message, or like little things like that, right? Yeah, adding in those CTAs, and the story is where you sell. So yeah, you just gotta keep that in.
Story is huge, definitely. If you can get proficient at building stories and things like that, people really connect with that kind of content as well. So Maddie, just thanks so much for being on today. If people want to connect with you to, you know, ask questions or learn more about Mad Social and how you can help their businesses, where's the best place for them to connect with you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at Mad Social Agency. You can email me, Maddie at madsocialagency.com. And I'm also pretty big on LinkedIn personally. That's what I love. So if you search up Maddie Thompson on LinkedIn, I'll pop up, and I share a lot of value on there and social media tips.
Awesome. So check out the description. We'll have links to all those things in the description there. So you can just click on them and go through and get all that awesome content and be able to connect with Maddie personally. So thank you again for being on. Thanks to you,